Welcome back to the studio apartment. And today we're going to do a pour. We are coming down to the end of my time. The craft convention is 2.5 weeks away. Now, I've got a ton of stuff that I have to finish. So, starting this week, you are going to see me just grab baskets of stuff that's been poured but not finished. And we're going to just start finishing stuff off. There are a few more pours that I want to do. I do have new molds, and I am going to pour at least one of each of those to take with me. So, I'm still going to do Froggy Friday, and I got something pretty cool planned for it this week. I'm still going to do Coasting Through the Week, and I'm going to add in, not take away, add in with Sheila at Reptiles and Resin. I'm going to do Turtle Tortoise Tuesday with her. So, right now, I made this mold, and I'm going to try and pour in it. Now, here's the problem. I did spot a weak spot in the mold, and I did tape it. I just want to try and get one pour out of it and see if it really worked. And what happened was, if you look at this, this is a lot fatter over here. And I had this side too close to the glass, to the cup that I poured in. So I didn't get enough silicone down in there. But I am going to try and pour it, and I put resin tape, and then I packing tape around it. I know it's not going to be a mold that I keep. I just want to try and pour it and see if I can make some molds, given no instructions, which this supposed kit came with none. Clyde, please don't take the sheets off the bed. I'll put out a video later tonight of Clyde, and then Bear got involved, of me trying to put clean sheets on the bed and how helpful they are. Yeah, that's being sarcastic because Clyde is not helpful. He tries to help, but I put a corner on and go to put another corner on, and he takes off the first corner. And this is a game we play, not by my choice. But, I finally got the sheets on the bed. Took me a while, 5-minute process, which, ended up taking me probably 30 minutes to try and get sheets on the bed. So I do have just under 16 ounces of resin mixing up in my mixer right here. My mixer that Renee over Heart Creations by Renee sent to me, which I love. I have one of the things I am going to try and pour a couple more of is the skulls, because they are my best sellers. And I got to show you guys something. All right, I found these. I always like to try and do something that's gonna stand out and really catch somebody's attention on your table. So here's what I'm gonna do. I came up, I saw these mini party hats, and they're a little big for the frogs and the axolotls, but here's what I was gonna do for just to put on my table and maybe get some attention this way. But what do you guys think? I have a skull with a party hat. So I'm gonna put these party hats on my skulls. And I think that should like draw people in, because I mean, who puts party hats on skulls? Well, I do. So I have all different colors. They have the little string that tightens up, so I can put them on top of the skulls, and that should catch people's attention and maybe get them to my table, to my booth. So I thought that was kind of funny. So that is one thing I'm going to do. I think I got like, I don't know, I got a whole pack of them over here. And they're all different colors. I found them on Amazon. They came through the Vine program. And there's like, they have them for like, you know, small dogs and stuff like that. But I got them, and I thought those would be fun to put on, you know, some animals and skulls. So that's what I'm going to do there. Like I said, I just want to try and get one pour out of this. Oh my God, this rubber stuff from yesterday is still in my life. It's on the bottom of this cup. Oh my Lord. That shit was a nightmare. Don't buy that kit. Do not buy that kit. Buy the fun showcase kit. Doesn't come with as many molds, but you can use any of your molds. And it does come with that great big chick mold, which is kind of cute. Yeah, but yeah, don't buy that Taba one that I did the review on. That shit's a nightmare. I frustration beyond frustration. So, we're just mixing things up. I think I'm just gonna pour the Owl crystal clear, and hopefully I can get the resin to stay in there, just to do one pour on them. I just want to see if it came out good or not. And then I've got, I want to do one more of these lotus bowls because I think they're really pretty. And I've got a skull that is started that I need to put more into. And I'm sure we'll do some other ones, like extra type molds that I have sitting over here. But I have got to start finishing this stuff off. So this week is going to be, we're going to start finishing, making up stuff, the keychains for the ones that are going to be keychains, which means I'm going to be drilling holes on some stuff. I will still pour some, like, I want to do some of those little windows pendants with the frames and everything. So I will be pouring little stuff like that, but the big stuff, I'm only going to do a few more pours on the big stuff, and this bowl, that other new lotus bowl, and probably my skull ashtray trinket dish, because that's usually a really good seller. So I'm starting to put all the bigger molds away into the drawers, because I'm going to move those drawers underneath this table and actually set the table on top of it, because I need storage space. And right now the storage I have that I cleaned out is in the other corner of the room. So I do want to do that, but I have got to get things finished off. So that's going to be the goal. I have a bunch of stuff poured and in baskets. So what I'll do is I'm going to just pick a basket, pull it up here, turn on the camera, and we're going to start finishing stuff off. Because I got to get all the pocket hugs done on their cards. I got to get any keychains that I have. I've got to finish off some, like the straw toppers. I'm going to put a coat of UV resin on the bottom to finish those off, so they have a nice finished bottom when they go over the straws, stuff like that. So that's where I'm at right now, and I'm going to split this resin in a couple of cups. I don't know how much this one takes, because this will be the first pour in it. But we're going to try and get a few things done here. I don't know if I'll mix up any other resin today, but we're at least going to do this one. I suppose that might be depending on what I can pour out of this. So that is where we're at. I do have a new skull mold too. Came the other day. But here we go. This one has been on for a while. So we're going to scrape this paddle here. Okay, I'm going to set that over here for the moment on this other mat. I am going to scrape my sides and my bottom. Make sure that's all incorporated. Then I'm going to get this into 2 separate cups so that it doesn't flash cure on me. And I'm thinking let me just pour that in there for now. Let me see. I am just gonna pour clear with a little bit of sparkle in this. And just see if he turns out or not. If I can jam up that weak spot in there enough to get a pour on. Okay. Hopefully this doesn't leak all over the place. This is Bond Crafter 1-to-1, of course. It's my resin of choice and the only resin that I will use. The only time that may differ is they do not have an eco pour and they do not have a polyurethane. Other than that, they are the resin that I trust. It degasses really well. I don't have a bubble remover or a vacuum chamber, so I rely on, and I'm just going to get down in here because I don't know where the air bubbles are going to be, since I made this mold and now I'm trying to pour in it. But you guys will see after I pour this and we take it out and we demold it. You guys, I'll put up the video where I made this and how bad I struggled to get that damn out of this mold. I'm pretty sure it was worse than giving birth. I'm just gonna set this. I'm gonna fill this up. And then I'm gonna put it on the heat mat over here. So far it doesn't look like I have a leak. That's my heat mat going on. I'm telling you guys, get a heat mat made for food. Get one of these. Go look at my reviews. These things are amazing. They are way better than the heat mat I bought from Temu, which is that plasticky stuff that warps. This is 100% silicone. It cleans up easy. You can just easily peel resin off of it. And you can control the temperature. It's wonderful. So let's pour a little more in this, and I'm going to pour this bowl. I don't remember how much the bowl takes, but we're going to put, you would think I've poured this enough, but you know, I've slept since then. And like a dummy, I don't keep track of. I should write them all down, that way I know, but I did not. So I actually think I'm gonna just pour it in this Aurora powder with a little bit of color in it. Purple, green. I'm forever pouring blues and greens, I know, but I can't help it. It's what I like. Actually, I'm gonna try this gray along with this Aurora powder. Stick. What am I looking for? Stick. That's what I'm looking for. And this is just a resin pigment. Actually, that was coffee. Okay, well, we're going to go brown, because Laura didn't pay attention and read it correctly. I looked at the color and went, oh, that's the gray. Okay. No, it's coffee. That's okay. It'll still be a nice creamy color with the Aurora powder. I'm still testing this air purifier over here. I do have it on. I turned it on when I started. I have been using it. It does help because I don't smell the alcohol, because I use 99% alcohol, and it doesn't, you know how strong that stuff is, and I don't smell it near as much when I have this on. So there is this. Let's see, do I need more color? I kind of like this. It's almost like a silvery. We're pouring this color. So this was coffee mixed with that Aurora powder. So far I don't have any leaks on the mold I did, so I will make another one. I just need to get a bigger cup, obviously. I used one of these cups right here, and that one side of that owl was too close to the, I didn't get enough silicone down in between the cup and that part of the owl, so. But I did want to try and pour in it and see. Okay, here we go. Let's pour this color into here. This is it's an INTORESIN mold. I love this mold. It's really pretty. It makes a really nice bowl. I always go around and squish the bottom part. And then the other part you got to worry about are these right here. These little, they're like little circular parts in the mold. Just go through with your stick and make sure that you don't have bubbles in those. So, right now, I'm going to go through and get those . My air conditioner has been on for weeks now because Central Texas, we're back in the 80s and 90s. We might hit 100 in the next couple of weeks. And you know what that means? Long, hot summer. I'm going to move this over to the heat mat and I'm going to top it off over here. And so far so good on my mold that I made. It is not leaking. I didn't know how else to fix it, so I thought the best way would just be trying to tape up that weak spot, because it is a small hole through there, but it's not very big at all. All right, the rest of this is going to go into the skull. Let me top a little bit more. Looks like it can take a little more. There we go. The rest into the skull. Because I do want to get a few more of these skulls poured. Because they are a really, really good seller. So I'll make sure I have a few. And they'll be one of my higher priced items because this thing is huge. It takes a lot of resin. But like I said, you can have your higher priced items, but I always make sure I have lower priced items also, because people are going to be looking for bargains also. So yeah, you can have, I'm hoping that, you know, I'll have a good mix of various price ranges. All right. Let me grab this other. Oops, wrong top. Trying to find. I need to find the top to that mold. That's the pumpkin one. Alright, let's pour another lizard. I don't have very many lizards. So, I'll find the top to that one. It's over here somewhere in the pile. But right now, I have a lizard handy. And I do need a lizard, so I think I only have one or two of these guys. And this ring holder, I'm going to pour another one. Let's see. Lizard. Let's do... We'll do some alcohol inks in this lizard. Let's sparkle. Spray my bubbles over here. Okay. Now, I'm going to put some clear down first. This will probably be the last lizard I do. Let's do some green. Where's my white? There it is. And I'm going to pour a little more clear. do the rest in clear. Make sure you get all the toes. I'll let this settle for a second. I don't care if his toes are clear as long as he has toes. See a bubble right here at the end of the tail. Come on, get in there. That should do it. Okay, I'm going to move him over to the heat mat and top him off. Let him settle there for a second. Make sure he's setting level. I'll let him chill out and heat that for a second. We have got just under 6 ounces left. I think we're gonna pour this ring holder. And what color should we do it? Well, you know what? You guys know I hate chunky glitter. And I've got this Resin Rockers. It's very pretty. It's a very pretty purple. But it is chunky glitter, and I hate chunky glitter, so what better opportunity than to get rid of it? And here's a violet pigment. So I will not mix this in my mixer cup. Why? Because it's glitter. And this cup that I'm pouring into, it'll be thrown away because I am not cleaning glitter out of a cup. Ultrafine glitter, no problem. Chunky glitter, no way. No ever-loving way. So, I have had a postman saga. Sit back, get ready for this story. So, I put in I scheduled a pickup, and I don't know how your postal system works if you're in the UK or anywhere else in the world, but here we can schedule a pickup. So I scheduled a pickup, and it was on the 19th I scheduled it, and I scheduled it for the next day, which would have been the 20th. So on the 19th, this looks like it's scraped out of this. Yeah. On the 19th, that afternoon, it just so happened that my postman came to my door to deliver me a package. So at that point, I told him, I said, I've got packages ready to go. If you'll take them now, I can cancel the I can cancel my scheduled pickup for tomorrow. He looked me straight in the face and said, no, I'll just do it tomorrow. Which normally my old postman, which supposedly we still don't have a regular postman, he keeps telling me he's not the regular and that he's only doing it, but he's been doing it for like 6 months, so at least. So I don't know how that's not regular, but okay. This resin's getting warm. So I just said fine. So on the 20th, now, not only does he know that I have packages here, because I spoke to him the day before, but he also would have gotten the printout, because they get a printout from the post office saying what their, how many packages and what the total weight is, all that kind of stuff from the post office. So he would have had knowledge of my packages in both ways. Of course, he does not show up on the 20th. So that afternoon, after I know he's already been here, because if I look out my side window, I can see the cluster boxes that we have at the end of the street. And so I know he was here, right? He does not come to pick up my packages. So then I call that after, like at 4 o'clock, I start trying to call. Though our local post office is terrible about picking up their phone. So I end up having to call the main number, the 888 toll-free number to, the main facility. And I tell them what's going on, and they're like, all right, we're going to contact that post office for you and get them out there to pick up packages. Okay. So to be safe, I then put in a pickup for the 21st, since nobody came on the 20th. So I thought, well, not only will they have the thing from the main post office, but they know that I have packages, and, now I'm putting in another pickup. So nobody shows up. So around 2 o'clock in the afternoon, no, 1 o'clock in the afternoon, he had already been here because I saw his truck pull up. And he drove right past me because he had to deliver something to somebody else on the street. So I call, and I just so happen to get a hold of who picks up the phone, but the postmaster. I'm going to set this over here and top it off if I need to. So the postmaster picks up the phone. I tell him what's going on, and he's like, all right, this is ridiculous. I am coming to your place right now. And I said, okay. And he said, please write me out a statement telling me exactly what happened so that I can use it. And I said, okay, fine. And so I wrote out the statement while he's on his way here. He pulls up in his own vehicle, like everybody in Texas. He has a truck. It's just a Texas thing. Everybody has a truck around here. So he pulls up in his truck. He comes up to the door, and he's like, I hand him my statement, and he's like, okay. He said, I am going to, and I asked him, I said, is this guy the regular postman? Because he keeps telling me he's not. And he said, well, he has a mini bid on it, which means he wants the route, but they haven't made a final decision. So he, once again has me explain what happened. He reads my statement. He's like, okay. He said, give me your packages. I'm going to try and see how much of this I can get poured. This is that other Lotus bowl. I may set it aside here and just let it, and then the next time I pour resin, I'll pour it also. So he takes my packages, he goes back to the post office. Now, mind you, I've already put in a complaint with the main post office, right? So they've already received an email about it, and how I know that is because I also received the email of what they received. So they sent me a copy, right? So then, as he's leaving, his name is Lewis. He's a great guy, really, stepped up when he didn't have to. And so then all of a sudden, I get 3 postmen at my door that day. 3. That's on Friday. And I'm like, no, your postmaster already came and got these packages, You can go ask him about it. And they're like, oh, are you sure it was the postmaster? And I said, his name is Lewis and he drives a red truck. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. He showed up in a suit and tie. And they're like, oh, okay. And the one guy looks at me and goes, well, somebody's in trouble. And I said, well, not my problem. These have been sitting here for days now when they could have been taken on the 19th. And Lewis confirms, the postmaster confirms, that he should have taken them on the 19th when he knew they were sitting here. Okay. So then yesterday, Saturday, I have another postman show up at my door, and he's like, I understand that nobody picked up your packages. He said, I'm here to pick them up. Now, mind you, none of these guys is the guy that's on this route. Not one. That have shown up to my house. I'm just going to put this on the heat mat, and then I'll finish it when I do another pour. And I'm just going to clean up here. So, I tell him, I said, no. I said, actually, your postmaster showed up here and took the packages on Friday. And he's like, oh shit. He said, the postmaster showed up? And I said, yeah. He's like, somebody's in trouble. No wonder I have this route today. And I said, oh, you weren't scheduled for today? He goes, no. He said, they called me in because something had happened. He goes, I think I know what that is now. I said, well, it could be. I don't know for sure what happened, but... And So he's like, okay. He said, then you're good? And I said, yeah. He said, you don't have anything else that needs to be taken? I said, no, I'm good. So now, I teased in our Discord group about getting a postman fired. I'm pretty sure I did. And that's fine, because this guy's a dick and a half. This isn't the first time I've had this issue with him. There was a time, probably about 6 months ago, we had a postman who was a really nice guy, always came by because he delivered mail directly to my attached neighbor that got evicted. And he was just bringing her mail directly, and he would bring mine with him at that time too. So he got moved to another route. And I said, you know, and I was telling Lewis, I said, yeah, I said, the guy that we used to have, he goes, I know who you're talking about. He said, yeah, he's a super guy. He said, unfortunately, I had to move him to another route because we had problems on another route. He said, but it looks like I now have problems on this route, and this guy has a mini bid in for it. He said, and I don't think he's going to be getting it. And I said, okay. And so, I may not have a regular postman. I had 6 packages totaling 30 pounds, and he was just too lazy to take them. Well, that will probably bite him in the ass, or it has bit him in the ass, because that cup is going to get tossed. I will not clean a chunky glitter cup. They're horrible to clean. Ask Sheila from Reptiles and Resin. Glitter's horrible to clean off of anything, let alone a cup. Don't use, unless you like a fight, don't use it in your silicone cups. Don't use chunky glitter in there. My suggestion is they don't clean up nice at all. So now I have a postman that, you know, probably lost his job, which, like I said, this isn't the first time. When he first took over the route, I had the exact same problem. He didn't come pick up my packages, and they had to send, it wasn't Lewis that time, it was some other guy in a 3-piece suit driving the mail truck to come get my packages. So this isn't his first time of not picking up packages. He's just lazy. I'm gonna set the skull over here, just that way the resin that did go in there that is the lid to the half-poured one. Ugh, more of that rubber. Oh my gosh. That was like rubber cement glue. That's what it reminded me of. Don't buy that kit. The molds are cute, but the flex rubber is horrible. Horrible, horrible, horrible. Well, guys, I will catch you on the demold side. I'm going to finish cleaning up this mat here. It's always going to be dirty with something, but at least get the... And this glitter's going to stick to it. It'll take me forever to get glitter out of it, but it's okay. That's why it's the mat. Alright guys, talk to you in a while. Welcome back, and let's demold. My homemade mold is still sitting on the heat mat. Still seems a little soft. The lizard feet here are soft, but I think I can get them out. The feet are always soft. So let's see. Can we get the lizard out? I don't want to break off a leg or toes. There we go. There's one foot out. Tail's out. Another foot out. I want to get these toes out before I work. There we go. There he is. He should come out easy now. Yep. A little over it right there on his chin. I need to, after he's fully cured, hardened up, I'll take the deburring tool, but there he is. He turned almost all pink. There's the lizard. And we'll take out the ring holder. This one you just have to watch out for this centerpiece. Sometimes it's still a little bendy, so you don't want to rip it off. There we go, ring holder, nice and purple. Turning my mold back inside, out, to the right side. Don't leave your molds the wrong side for very long, because they'll get deformed. This one, take a popsicle stick and put that part back out. So there's that one. And then we have the lotus bowl. This is the INTORESIN mold. I love this bowl. There we go. There. As always with Bond Crafter, absolutely no bubbles. I'm telling you guys, I don't have a vacuum chamber, I don't have a debubbler. I don't get bubbles with Bond Crafter. So pretty. The lizard did not have bubbles. No bubbles in the lizard. No bubbles in the ring mold. Bond Crafter for the win all the way. I just need to shave off the bottoms with the burring tool after everything is set nice and hard. Same thing with the bottom of the lizard here. And I'll put his eyes in. But like I said, the next 2.5 weeks is going to be getting, sorry, my camera's shaking. Next 2.5 weeks is going to be getting stuff done. All the bells and whistles put on them, all the shaving down, all that stuff. That's what you guys are going to be seeing now. I'll be doing a little less pouring. I still have a few things that need to be poured. I have a few new molds that I want to get poured. But that's what we're doing for the next couple of weeks. Still doing Froggy Friday, still doing coasting through the week, and also I'm going to do with Sheila at Reptiles and Resin, I'm going to do Turtle Tortoise Tuesdays. There you go, TTT. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.